Heavyweight, heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I had to do this live on the move. I just left the gym with the family right now. We stopping at the seafood place, pick up a Cajun boil. So I got to do this one on the move, man, because it's gonna be busy later. So, Jay Jerk was good, man. Hopefully I can get a big crowd in here like I did earlier. It's over 100 people in here earlier, man. So I appreciate that, y'all. But I'm gonna make this St. Cruising was good. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to jump in. Um, Got to do this one on the move. NBT boxing was good, man. Haven't seen you in a minute. My Australian brother was good. NBT. Wait for a few more people to show up. Like I said, I'm doing this on the move. We stopped at this damn seafood place. Pick up this Cajun boil, man. I'm addicted to these Cajun boils, man. I know people probably like, you eating a Cajun boil after the gym? Yeah. My weight's still good though, you know. Shit, man. They lost over 33 pounds in the last year. But I'm gonna get to this. Um, Pretty interesting stuff, man, today at these weigh-ins. Before I get to Hunter and Povetkin, let me just go over what I think of Dillian Whyte and Mariusz Wach, man. You couldn't have told me that Dillian Whyte before the weigh-in was going to weigh more than Mariusz Wach. I would have cash that bet somebody that wouldn't happen. All right, so I'm not sure Dillian Whyte is fully prepared for this, man. I seen a video of him training on his YouTube channel, and yeah, the power's there. He's a big dude. He can punch, you know, but the speed looked it kind of slow. His balance looked kind of off. Again, maybe that mid session he was just warming up. So maybe he started cracking and start picking up the pace later on in that mid session. But from what I seen, it just looked kind of slow and plodding. Now maybe that was strategic. Maybe they're working on just precision or something. Because there's different types of mitt works. You know what I mean? You don't have to look like Floyd Mayweather on the mitts every time you go on the mitts. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just working on your technique and turning your hips into a big right hand or a left hook or whatever. All right, but from what I've seen, it just look kind of like, you know what I mean? But the dude can still crack. Mariusz Wach is a guy you don't have to go looking for. Okay, it's not like Mariusz Wach is gonna get on the back foot and you know what I mean? You know, turn into Larry Holmes. He's not gonna do that at all. All right, so he's a big target. Mariusz Wach is kind of slim from his two previous fights. He fought some journeymen in the last couple fights. He was like in the 280s, so 270 is pretty good for this point in Mariusz Wach's career. This isn't like his prime weight. When he fought Klitschko and he was fighting those guys in 2011, 2012, he was like in the high 240s, 250s. All right, so the last few years he's been in the 280s and, you know what I mean, the 270s. So, but man, Dillian Whyte 271 was telling. And I thought he looked big in the interviews, but he had black on it. Sometimes when guys are wearing black, it's kind of like, But even my wife was like, nah, he looked fat. You know what I mean? Or he looked like he's pretty hefty right now. So he coming in as by far career high. This isn't his career high by a few pounds, like his by far career high, man. So, and I thought when he was coming in at the high 250s, I thought that was crazy. When he was coming in like at 258, 259 for Dillian Whyte, even I thought that was like, damn, 258 Dillian, but 271? Look, man, it's gonna be, I'm picking him to win the fight, but it might be interesting, man. It really might. It might be one of those situations where he might win the fight, but he probably won't look great doing it. It just depends on what type of effort Mariusz Wach puts up. He's a target to be hit. He's there to be hit. But shit, so is Dillian. It's not like Dillian Whyte is this defensive mastermind. You know what I mean? But he has dog. Look, you know, as far as when Dillian Whyte fights, his just fighting style. Just talking about fighting style, I like watching Dillian Whyte fight because he's not going to cheat you of his effort. He's gonna give it all he got. Whether he's looking sloppy in there, he's falling and breathing hard and slobbering and all, he's going to fight to the end. So I'll give him that as far as just watching him fight. All right, it isn't the most textbook, it isn't the most beautiful thing to watch, but he does have a solid jab and he has a good left hook. All right, I'm just talking about his fighting style. I'm not talking about the glove incident with Revis or this B sample. I'm just talking about just watching him fight. All right, he won't short you on his effort. I'll put it that way. Okay. I'm expecting him to win, but now we talking about Ruiz and AJ's weights. To me, the most telling weight out of everybody's weight was Dillian Whyte. That's just my opinion. I kind of went over the Ruiz thing. Don't want to rehash that. If you missed what I thought about that, check that video out. All right. So I'm picking Whyte to win. I'm gonna say decision in a slow pace fight because Wach he just sometimes he won't open up. I wish Wach would throw that right hand that he landed against Christian Hammer a long time ago when he knocked Christian Hammer out cold. It was probably his best. You alright, son? Probably his best KO victory was when he knocked out Christian Hammer. It was early in Hammer's career too. Hammer only had like 7 or 8 fights at that time. But if he can unleash your right hand, just maintain his distance, try to catch Whyte on the way in. Whyte is a very good body puncher as well. Try to catch him on the way in, or when he drops down to go to the body, try to land a right hand on him. He has the height, you know what I mean? So maybe he can, you know, it's the big boys. Anything can happen. Maybe this can be a Robert Helenius versus Whyte situation, you know what I mean? Where, because even Helenius hurt Whyte, you know what I mean? When he had maintained that distance and then he snuck a shot in there and hurt him. But I'm picking Dillian Whyte to win, and I'm going to say it's going to be an exhausting UD, where they're just exhausted at the end. All right, with that slight chance of a big shot landing and him knocking Wach out. But 271, I'm just concerned, is Dillian really even physically ready for this fight? You know what I mean? But it's a big card. It's another payday. So I understand why he probably just took the fight, whether he's all the way ready or not. I understand the game of boxing. But we'll see. All right. Majidov versus Tom Little. Majidov by destruction. All right, I think he's going to walk him down behind that little high guard. He's going to pump 2-3 jabs at a time, try to find home for the right hand, and then left hook. He's going to walk him down and chop him up. Tom Little's probably going to grab, you know, showboat, stick his tongue out, act like he ain't hurt. 1-2 hold, 1-2 move, that type of thing. I think Majidov is going to walk him down and probably get him out of there. All right, or at least just outwork him at the very least. All right, let me say what's up to you brothers real quick before I keep going in on this. Let me see here. NBT, my man Trap House. Appreciate that, NBT. He says I was here 2 days ago, but he was on the road. Never get sick of hearing your thoughts on boxing, bro. Keep well. Yeah, bro, NBT, what was your original name on YouTube, bro? I remember you had came to my, when you first started coming to my channels like 4 years ago. I was actually doing a breakdown of the NCAA tournament. And then you start talking about basketball. We're talking about like the Utah Jazz. I remember our first encounter, bro. But you were going by, I think, your real name. I forget. But then you start making videos. But I appreciate you, bro, being in here. Trap House says this is what I've been waiting on. And I'm gonna get to other fights in a second, man. I just want to show y'all love real quick. Crazy D3 says, will Hunter's weight have an effect on the outcome of this fight? I'm gonna get to it. Crazy D3. Official AJ, my bro, what's good? He says, what's good, bro? Back to hear this one. Smash the like button, y'all. Neutral Natural in the house with them eyes. He's always doing that. What's up, Neutral Natural? Crazy D3 says, Dillian been eating too much saltfish patties. He's been doing something, man. Mike Wilkins, what's good? Set shot says, Wach got a long reach and good jab. Mike Wilkins says, just jumped on, what it do. Neutral Natural says, Dillian Whyte is a C-level fighter at best with a decent motor, good left hand. Official AJ says, it is snowing by you, bro. Is it snowing? Nah, it's cold as hell. It ain't snowing. For those you don't know, I live in Minnesota and many of the Twin Cities. It's not snowing right now, but it is cold as hell out. But it did snow last week, so the roads are clear. There is snow still stuck on the ground. It's turned into ice, but typical Minnesota. Let me see here. Paul Edlin says, what's up from New Zealand? Mr. Boxing was good, man. My man, Stormy B man in here. Appreciate that live you did, man. It was you. Was it you, Reggie? I think G Funk and D Styles. I watched that the other day. Shout out to my man Stormy B man. Go, hey y'all go subscribe to Stormy B man. Go subscribe to Trap House Boxing. Go subscribe to my man EBT Boxing. You know what I mean? Rich H was good. Felix Nunez, Garland, Chapel was good. All right, so now Carlos Renica was good from Chicago. Okay, that's my birthplace, Chi-Town, man. That's where I was born. All right. So I went over Wach, Whyte, Majidov, Little. Oh yeah, Hrgovic versus Molina before I get to Hunter and Povetkin, because I went over AJ and Ruiz a million times. All right, Hrgovic versus Molina. I think Hrgovic, he fights in that Vitaly Klitschko-esque type of style where he kind of has the low hands, kind of making you miss up top with his upper body movement. Likes to dart in, throw 1, 2, 3, 4, dart back out. Sometimes he does it in a straight line, where if he fights a guy with a long reach, or long right hand, or a guy that can punch at long distances and catch him, that might catch up with him. Hrgovic's a guy where I've been watching him since he was an amateur in 2014, man. I've said this a million times, because there's some just new Hrgovic fans, which is fine. But I think some guys are Hrgovic fans because we have this USA versus UK rivalry. So whoever Eddie Hearn has with his that he's promoting or doing business with, fans just automatically think those guys can beat everybody. You know what I mean? But Hrgovic is somebody I've been talking about since 2014. 2015, I did a video where I predicted that Hrgovic would win a world title one day. This when he was still an amateur, all right? Doesn't make me special or anything, but it's just that I've been having an eye on this kid for a while, for about damn near 6 years, so it's good to see him, his career develop, all right? Now, with that said, and I also thought he got robbed in the Olympics, the past Olympics in 2016 against Joka. But anyways, look, man, he has a good jab, a good right hand, a good motor, a plethora of experience. He's been in, man, 6 or 7 Klitschko camps. He sparred Deontay Wilder. He sparred some everybody when he was 19, 17 years old in those camps, all right? Good power. You know, I just think he's going to take it to Molina. I don't think he's going to let Molina breathe. I don't think he's going to allow Molina to be the aggressor. I think he's going to put Molina on the back foot. And maybe Molina can pull something out the hat like he did against Thomas Adamek when he came out of nowhere and knocked Adamek out. Probably his best win. And he has a good left hook. The left hook he landed on Wilder, obviously back in the day, that wobbled Wilder. He has a lot of experience, man, so maybe he'll try to have Hrgovic, maybe he'll try to set a trap, because I don't think his plan is to go in there and outwork this young guy. I think his thing is to set traps. Kind of, sometimes Molina can roll with, he's good at rolling with shots sometimes, but AJ was able to pick him apart, like when he, for example, when he fought AJ, because AJ was picking his shots at him, you know what I mean? But sometimes you get in there and try to just unload on him, he can roll and come under shots and come up with hooks. So maybe he'll try to use some type of savvy veteran tricks where he's just going to allow the young guy to be the young guy and then try to catch him in between shots. All right, I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but we'll see. All right, but I think Hrgovic is going to, like I said, man, pump that jab, walk behind the jab, and land that big right hand left hook. Shout out to my man Dago619, one of the few people that predicted Ruiz to beat Joshua the first time around. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man Big Boys Boxing, aka Kiwi Box. Give Kiwi Box a wrench. George Michael says, can Peter keep Arsen off him with that jab, veteran? Oh, you talking about Sam Peter and Arslanbek Makhmudov? No, I think Sam Peter's done, man. If this was the who next, like that 2004, 2005 Samuel Peter that had that vicious left hook that we're like, man, we got a new power puncher in the division, I'll pick Sam Peter. But this version of Sam Peter, this 285-pound Sam Peter and all that, man, war torn, and no, his better days is gone. Now it's the heavyweight puncher's chance, but Makhmudov, big, strong, got the reach. I think he destroys Peter. You know what I mean? If this was who next, that Sam Peter that was on HBO and Showtime and all that, I'll go with that Sam Peter, but not this version of Sam Peter. All right, so let's see who else joined. Okay, TOC says, damn, Mr. Whyte Wach chat. Nah, I ain't got to it yet, bro. I'm saving that for last. Oh no, I did get to that already. My bad. Yeah, you did miss it. All right. Now let me get to what I came on here for. All right, appreciate that, Mike Wilkins. Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin. No, man, I don't think the weight's going to be, whoever that was that asked me about the weight, I forget. I don't think it's going to be an issue. 226 is decent for him. He's been coming in a little bit lower than that in some of his fights, like the 217s, 215s. 226 is okay for him. It didn't look that bad on him at all. He still has a little bit of flab in the stomach, but he seems to be in good shape. Even when he's 215, he still has a little bit of flab. So, but he's not fat. You know what I mean? He's going to be in good shape. He's used to fighting big guys. This is not new to him. And Povetkin's not even technically a big guy. He's not, you know, the 6'7", 6'6", 6'8". He's not Ustinov. He's not Martin Bakole Alunga. You know what I mean? He's not Sergey Kuzmin. He's a smaller fighter. And I think Kuzmin is kind of like a younger, fresher, probably not as talented version of Povetkin, but that type of style. And Hunter was able to handle it easy. And some of you may say, but hey, Mr. Boxing, he's not Povetkin. He doesn't have the tools that Povetkin provides. He doesn't have the left hook of Povetkin. Yes, you're right. Sergey Kuzmin does not. But I think he has has more energy, a better motor at this stage than Povetkin. But technique, I would favor Povetkin. You know, I was watching some Povetkin fights, man, just going back over his fights, and he does this thing where he'll be on the outside and he'll have the guards up, he'll probe with jabs, he's trying to get under, he'll probe to get under you, and then he does this hop where he'll hop in, get off his work, hop out. In between his hops, he wants to rest. When he hops back, he wants to rest, probe from the outside. Hop in, get his work off, hop back out, probe from the outside. Michael Hunter ain't gonna let him rest, y'all. Michael Hunter, in my opinion, is going to do what Marco Huck was doing. Huck would throw when Povetkin would want to rest, because another thing Povetkin does, he's susceptible to just falling into clinches and not working out. That's the thing with, look, I understand the Klitschko fight with Povetkin was atrocious. There should have been a lot of points taken away from Klitschko holding him. Mind you, though, when he was holding, Klitschko was hurting him too. So it was a mixture of hurting Povetkin, knocking him down. Sometimes he was throwing him down. So it was a mixture of holding and clinching and putting his weight on top of him, mixed with hurting him with clean shots as well. So I think that took effect on him in that fight, where he was getting hit with clean shots that was hurting him, and he had to deal with this big dude putting his weight on him, grabbing him, and just ragdolling him. You know what I mean? It took effect on his legs, and he was getting hurt up top, and it was messing up, discombobulating him as well. You know what I mean? So, but the thing with Huck was letting his hands go. Povetkin want to rest? I'm gonna let my hands go on you. I'm gonna let my hands go on you. Povetkin try to do that hop back and move out the way. I'm gonna let my hands. He made him fight. He made him fight a fight that he necessarily didn't want to fight. And credit to Povetkin, he was fighting back, but he was getting tired. So once you get him into the continuity of just exchanging when he doesn't want to exchange, it gets him a little bit tired. You start to test that gas tank. This is my problem with Hughie Fury when he fought Povetkin. And I picked Hughie to win because I thought, like, man, ain't no way in the world Hughie's going to let somebody 14, 15, however much older he is than Povetkin is than Hughie. I'm like, man, there's no way Hughie should let somebody 15 years his senior outwork him. And Hughie went in there, and you guys know how Hughie fight, man. But I think Hunter's not going to let him outwork him. That's what he won't do. Now, Povetkin's best chance, I think, will try to catch Hunter in between being active. So when he's being active and he's throwing punches and he's just setting his high work rate, I think Povetkin's chance is trying to catch him in between that work rate with left hooks and overhand rights. All right. Povetkin's he does a good job of turning over his punches in little awkward ways. I call it like that European way of turning over their punches. Kovalev does it. Golovkin is famous at it, where they, like, their overhands, they kind of turn their gloves and turn their wrist in little odd ways. Lomachenko does it as well. It's like a little European thing that they do, man. But he'll try to turn over some overhand rights and some left hooks. He likes to step off to the side and dig to the body with lefts. You know what I mean? But I see Hunter being able to exchange with him a little bit. If Hunter can go in there with bigger guys like Ustinov and Bakole and even Keladze, who I know fought at cruiserweight for some of his fights, but he's still taller and rangier than Hunter, he's able to deal with those guys, man. So size and power, that doesn't really affect Hunter like that. He's proven he can get in there and get into a tussle. But when you watch Hunter, though, sometimes, to me, his style was more put together and it looked more cleaner as far as his punching technique and his defense. It looked cleaner in the Keladze fight because I thought Keladze was just allowing him to take the initiative and be the aggressor. But when you get him into just the all-out war and slugging the way Bakole did, his technique kind of falls apart a little bit. And you're almost sitting there watching, like, because me and my wife was watching it, and I was just giving her a rundown on Hunter. She was like, he made it to the Olympics? Because she was just looking at the Bakole fight when they're just going to war. He's throwing wild overhands, wild crosses, wild upper. It just looked wild as hell. I was like, yeah, he made it to the Olympics. You know what I mean? But that, to me, wasn't about technique. That was just about fighting. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to get in there and just fight. And I think that's what he'll do, is he's just going to get in there and just fight, man. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Michael Hunter to outwork Povetkin. And I think he's going to test Povetkin's gas tank. And then I think as the fight prolongs and it goes deep and it gets into like round 11, round 10, I think he's going to stop on round 11 due to exhaustion and due to it's just going to be too many punches coming and the work rate is just going to be too much for Povetkin. And I think Povetkin is going to lose this fight, man. So I'm going to go with Hunter in this fight. I think Povetkin to come out early and try to fight at his pace, and I think Hunter will kind of agree with that and kind of pick and paw and probe, kind of pick, probe and paw with jabs and light punches. Then I think they'll start mixing it up. I think Povetkin does have enough power to get his respect, but I also think Hunter has enough power to get Povetkin's respect, and he's going to give Povetkin something to think about. Povetkin's not just going to run in on him and walk him down and stalk him and just beat him up. It's not going to happen. If those guys that are 6'6", 250 can't do it, as good as Povetkin is, I don't think just his physicality is going to play a part in this fight. You know what I mean? I think his thing is he's going to have to pick his spots. I don't think he's going to be able to bully Michael Hunter, all right, because he has the weight to stand up to him. He has that fighting spirit. He has the youth, and he has a high work rate. All right, he's gonna let his hands go. Okay, that's my prediction on the fight, man. I will read you guys' comments in the archives. Appreciate y'all joining, but that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me see here. Yep, that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm gone. Till next time, I'm gonna probably go live. I'm thinking about going live during the fight card. You know what I mean? Let me just see how everything works out. But if not, I'm definitely doing a post-fight. But I think I'm gonna go live during the fight card tomorrow and chop it up with you guys, man. Maybe you can listen to my commentary as you're watching the fight, all right? But y'all enjoy this fight card tomorrow, man. Be easy, I'm gone.